Hello everyone, welcome to 12am coding. And today we are going to learn about a new annotation in our Spring Boot series, which is @valid. Okay, so before moving to this particular annotation in the code, let's see why we need it. Okay, so let's say we talked about, right? We are having one client, okay, and we are having a server, and client will be requesting some data to the server, and server will be responding. And we have discussed about like this particular data, it will be in JSON format, or it can be in other formats also, like XML or some form data. But in normal cases these days we use JSON because it's a very famous data structure, okay, data format. So let's say you are providing a name here, and let's say you are providing a age here, okay, and this need to be converted into a Java object. Okay, let me write it as Pojo, plain old Java object, on the server side. Okay, so this is your client and this is your server, simply. Now the thing is, let's say you want to apply some validation over it. Okay, for example, this name is here, okay, and this age is here. Now you want to provide a validation that it is not possible, right, that if someone name can be more than, I think, 20 or 25 character, so someone will be printing a name very big, then it's a wrong name, right? So we can provide a validation. Or let's say age. So anybody, if he provide the age like 120, then it's not a realistic age. Or if user provide the age like -3, it's not realistic, right? So in that cases, rather than coding these all the things, Spring Boot has provided some annotation, and definitely you can apply these checks through your Java coding, like you can write some cases and all. But Spring had made it little easier for you. Okay, so we are having @valid annotation, and we have already read about @request body, right? So we can use this valid annotation with request body, and we can implement this particular feature. So let's see what we need to do. So this is our Spring Boot project, okay? So before moving forward, we need one annotation in our build.gradle actually for using this validation, which is @valid. So what we can do, we can go to our start.spring.io, and we can um, get the valid annotation from here. Okay, the validation. So if you click on this explore button here, okay, then you can get the validation annotation. Simply what you need to do, you just need to put this particular annotation in your build.gradle, and once everything will be done, okay, once this particular build will happen, your validation is ready to use. Okay, so first thing is, it doesn't come as a default. We need to provide a implementation of this dependency. Okay, okay, so now what I have done, I have created one class actually. Okay, in this class we are having user registration form. Let's say someone want to fill the registration form. So these are generally we are having the fields like username, email, and password. Okay, so in this username, what I have done, I have provided the annotation which is @not empty. Okay, please provide a username. Then second annotation I provide is @email, which is please provide valid email address. @size, which means password, it should be minimum 8 length, and password must be at least 8 characters long. So this I have done, and I have created the getters and setters for it. Okay, and it is very important in case of the consumers also. Let's say you created one API, and consumer is consuming your API on the UI or some other application. In the code they are calling your API, so you can apply the validation so that they can also get the valid errors. So these are messages, these are the errors actually, or messages we need to send to the client when this particular object will be following this. Like it should not be empty. If it is empty, it will be providing this particular message in return. Okay, so this is how it works. So it's a simple class, right? Username, email, and password. Now let me do one thing. Let me create a controller. Let's say user controller I'll create. Okay, and in this controller, let me annotate with @rest controller, and let me provide a request mapping of let's say user. Okay, this is a user. Now let me do one thing. Let me create one post API for now. Okay, post mapping, which will be having public, and it will be returning me user registration form only for now. And let's say add user. I'm just creating one dummy endpoint, which is add user. And this will be taking request body. We already discussed about request body in our last tutorial. When we are getting a JSON, we will map to the request body, which will be our user registration form. Okay, and we will be returning this user registration form only. Okay, so simple. This is the simple API which is having this particular mapping as user. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me call this particular API. Okay, let's see how it goes. So I just started my service. Now let me go to Insomnia and hit this request. So I'm having this service running on 8090 port. So let me provide user as a path, and I have kept this JSON actually. Okay, and username, let's say I am providing as empty for now. Okay, and email is also not valid. Password is also not having all the 8 characters actually, as we have already mentioned that password must be 8 characters long. Okay, okay. So let me hit this particular URL, okay, this API, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so see, like we have applied the validations, but it is returning me the value. It means it ran successfully. So it should not happen, right? Because we already provided these annotations, but these are not coming into the play. Okay, so to get them coming into the play, we need to annotate this particular object with at the rate valid annotation for the request body. Okay, so simple. So let me now run it. So you got it right. If we don't provide valid annotation, those validation will not be applicable. Okay. So let me now hit. So see, it is giving 400 bad request. And let's see what's error it is giving. So if you see in the down, it is saying that resolve validation failed for argument 0 in public, this one. Okay. And we are having 3 errors because all our 3 are missing, right? Username, email, and password, right? All 3 are wrong. So first of all, it is saying not empty. So your username should not be empty actually. Okay, so we will be seeing that error message also. Please provide the username because we are passing it as empty, and we provide the notation which is not empty here. In the same way, for password also it is saying size error. Okay, and somewhere it will be mentioning password must be 8 character long. Okay, and in the same way we will be having for email also. Please provide a valid email address because we are not providing the valid email address. Okay, so for example, if I provide all the things valid, let's say username, let me provide it as Dave. Okay, and let's say abc at the rate gmail.com. Okay, and let's say password I am providing 456789. Okay, now let's see if I'm hitting this. If you see, we got the response. So this is the beauty of this at the rate valid annotation. You can use it. Okay, so there are couple of catches in it, like you can use at the rate empty, or you can use at the rate blank, or you can use at the rate null. So there are lot not null actually. Okay, so there are multiple annotations, so each and every will be having a different meaning. Okay, so in the note empty case, it is if I am opening this particular class implementation, then it is saying the annotated element must not be null or empty. If you open blank, then the annotated element must not be null and must not contain at least one white space character. Okay, so let me show you. So if you talk about at the rate empty, okay, and if I am providing empty string, okay, see it is working because it's like empty spaces it is taking. But if I provide not blank, okay, it should be having at least one character. Empty it can have, but it cannot only have the empties. Okay, so if I'll hit it, you are getting the error for user only. So if you see validation failed only for user. Okay, please provide the username. And at the rate not null will be used for, let's say you want one class actually here. Okay, let's say class, let's say address. Okay, in this address you will be having, let's say private, okay, string plot number. Okay, for now I'm keeping one only. Okay, and let's say you will be defining this address here. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, spelling is wrong, but fine. Okay, so let me provide this one. Okay, and here if I provide at the rate null, not null here, it means this object should not be null. So this not blank and not empty, it will be validating the types also. But not null means the object actually. So we are having the address class, it should not be coming as null, right? So that's what it means. Okay, so there are multiple validations. So I was reading one documentation. So this medium document is there. So in that there are lots of validations we are having: not null, not blank, not empty. Then minimum you can provide, maximum, size, pattern, some regex pattern, let's say some date format you are having. So you want to provide the pattern that you can do. Then email, digit, past, future for dates, assert true, assert false for booleans, credit card number for credit card number, valid, validated. So these all the annotations you can use and make your code more good, okay, more meaningful. So we will be learning about these things in the upcoming tutorials. So like there is one more annotation which is at the rate validated, okay, rather than at the rate valid. So we will be reading about this also in our upcoming tutorial. So yeah, that's it for this particular tutorial. I hope these things are making sense, because like it's a simple example, right, with the valid annotation. Okay, so yeah guys, let's see you in the next tutorial, and please don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon. And if you like these videos, then definitely share with your friends and hit the like button. So thank you.